That's not all. Order now. The forecast.
We're gonna battle. Got it!
If you've been playing games since the early 2000s, we are pretty sure you've heard about Earth Defense Force one way or another. However, there's a big chance you've never played any of the games in this 15-year-old series. Even though there has been slightly more media attention for the EDF series over the years, none of the games ever got a AAA status. The next game in the series is Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. In this video, we will give you 10 reasons why you should give the EDF games a try. If you're always into games with high production values, then we can already tell you that Earth Defense Force is probably not your cup of tea. But everybody likes a good underdog story. The small group of developers behind this series are trying to hit a home run amidst the Kojimas and the Miyamotos of this world. Game studio Sandlot made the first game in the series. The game was originally published as Chikyu Boegon in Japan as part of a budget game series called Simple 2000. Even the second game was a straight-to-budget bin type deal. European publisher H-Tech brought the game to Europe in 2004 and named it Monster Attack. The sequel was called Global Defense Force, while the third game finally got the Earth Defense Force label.
Explosives are no good against Urginus. Fortress Balam advanced to melee range.
In the world of movies, there aren't many monsters as iconic as King Kong and Godzilla. These giant creatures clearly inspired the developers of Earth Defense Force. On top of that, there's probably a bit of Starship Troopers in there as well, as most of the enemies you're fighting are basically giant insects.
There's giant insects again after 7 years, but soon they'll be an endangered species.
There's nothing to fear. Let's exterminate them.
Yes, sir!
The European title of the first game basically said it all: Monster Attack. No matter whether it's one super strong enemy or a horde of cannon fodder, there's something very fun in fighting gigantic enemies. Insects, gigantic spaceships, and kaiju, you fight them all in this series.
This is Ranger 16. The data is incorrect. The giant insects are stronger and more violent than ever before. We can't do this by ourselves.
今 UFO の大群が飛来しています。
人類初の緊急事態です。人類初の緊急事態です。映画ではありません。
Earth Defense Force isn't really about the story. There is one, but it's just very simple. In 2013, we picked up signals from outer space, and the Earth Defense Force was established to protect us from the dangers that would arrive 4 years later.
応戦しています。応戦しています。今入った情報によりますと、彼らは全地球防衛機構軍 EDF のようです。
From that point forward, you get to fight off a new alien invasion in each of the EDF games. This story is so simple, it could have come from a generic 80s action movie. Despite the thin story, this game is still a lot of fun. It's so bad, it's good! It's something that definitely holds true for this series.
Urginus is down and out.
And Milan was strong enough to beat him. Get the word out to everyone.
To some extent, you can compare Earth Defense Force with a campaign-driven horde mode. Big parts of the game you'll be fighting against an overwhelming amount of enemies. These games aren't the best-looking titles you will ever play, they don't have great voice acting, and the insect horde will certainly not move smooth as they stumble over each other and clip through buildings.
The transport ship's weak point is its hatch. Aim for the inside when it is open.
The massive amount of enemies also causes the frame rate to dip. But who cares when you get this insane amount of stupidity to unload your guns at?
As you know, Earth is under attack by a force composed of alien entities and what appear to be genetically manipulated terrestrial insects.
Since EDF Insect Armageddon, the series has embraced the concept of player classes. Nowadays, there are ground troops and airborne soldiers as well. Rangers, air raiders, wing divers, and fencers. Some are more into ranged attacks, while others prefer a more up-close approach. On the battlefield, you always need to take out the motherships first, because they will keep spawning new enemies. And while you're running around, keep your eyes open for extra armor. Some weapons have an infinite amount of ammo, others are limited in their supply. And that's about it. The only extra tactical advice we can give you is to aim at their weak spot for massive damage. Earlier in this video, we dropped the term Horde Mode. We didn't do this without reason, because Earth Defense Force is made to be played together. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon introduced online co-op to the franchise in 2011. Up until then, the game was meant to be played alone or in couch co-op. We truly believe you can have the most fun with the EDF series when you play together with your friends. Most of the later games in the series offer both online and couch co-op, which shows that the series is embracing its strengths.
Fighting giant insects. Hold your ground.
I'll pay you back someday.
Sorry to worry you.
Over the years, we've made a number of videos about cult games. Earth Defense Force definitely belongs on that list too. There's a hardcore community dedicated to the EDF franchise. They appreciate that these games are big, dumb fun in the most straightforward way. Just switch off your brain and blow up some aliens. The gameplay hasn't changed much over the years. It's not without reason that the reviews on the Steam version of EDF 4.1 are overwhelmingly positive, and even today, the 7-year-old Insect Armageddon is still getting lots of play.
There's more of them coming your way, Lightning. They seem to be just coming straight off the ground. There's a fuzz ton of debris being thrown around too.
If you own a PlayStation 4, you can already get your hands on some of the EDF action. Earth Defense Force 4.1 came out 2 years ago and can be found for $20 to $25 on eBay. This version of the game offers online co-op for 4 players and couch co-op for 2 players. This is a very cheap way to give the series a try. If you're a bit more of a collector, you can find the PS2 originals from Japan quite cheap. EDF 2025 for the PS3, however, is the most expensive one of the bunch, setting you back $60. If you own a PS4, do yourself a favor and get EDF 4.1 to see whether this series is up your alley. The future of the series looks quite promising. In December, Earth Defense Force 5 was released in Japan and sold 250,000 copies at launch. This should mean that we can expect a Western release later this year or early next year. But before that will happen, we get to play Earth Defense Force Iron Rain.
The enemy is too strong.
This game is not being developed by main developer Sandlot. Iron Rain might be less silly than the earlier games, but it's still about shooting giant enemies together with your friends.
As long as we're here, hope remains.
この度 EDF は少しだけ皆様の力を貸していただくことになりました。
Can you believe that the EDF series has a song that you can sing together with your friends while crushing bugs? Before we sign off with the EDF anthem, please let us know about your experiences with Earth Defense Force. Let us know and we hope to see you in our next video. But first, let's do this together, shall we?
To save our Mother Earth from any alien attack, from vicious giant insects who have once again come back, we'll unleash all our forces, we will cut them any slack. The EDF deploys. Our soldiers are prepared for any alien threats. The Navy launches ships, the Air Force sends their jets, and nothing can withstand our fixed bayonets. The EDF deploys. Our forces now have dwindled and we pull back to regroup. The enemy has multiplied and formed a massive crew. We better beat these bugs before we're all turned to soup. The EDF, the